Welcome to the Cozy Con Corner podcast. We're your hosts, Grace,
Dorothy,
and Bekah.
And today, guys, today, we have a very special guest if you want to introduce yourself.
I'm Levi, also known as Human Hater Cosplay on, everything.
So, Levi is the Levi from the first episode, guys. Everything that happened with me taking that stranger home, they were there every moment.
Unfortunately.
I don't know how many times I've told you, but I swear, when you started swearing in a different language, it amazes me every time.
Just felt like I could not get my point across, and it didn't matter whether I said it in English or whatever. So I was just like, you know what? You can't understand me, but this is how I feel right now.
So, also, we're recording this on Valentine's Day, so another happy Valentine's Day, guys. Even though we already have our Valentine's special, which was the Con Crushes last week. But today is officially Valentine's Day. Also, it is me, Bekah's, and Dorothy's friendversary when we first met.
Yay!
So, woo!
Yay!
1 year.
I haven't lost contact. Woo!
It feels like so much longer than that.
It does.
Like,
It
it's
feels like
weird that it's only one.
it's like I've known you guys for years and years.
No, we haven't even gone to a con together other than we met at KatsuCon, which is also insane.
Yeah. That's so crazy.
That's crazy.
We're also gonna delve into how we met Levi, because we met Levi, me and Bekah met Levi at Anime Midwest in 2019.
Yeah, it was 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 2019.
Yes.
I just doesn't feel like it was 2019. It still feels like it was either years ago or just yesterday
That was
sometime.
years ago. 2019 was years ago to me. Feels like it was ages ago. Before the war of 2020.
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's 2021, Grace. Come on.
See, I'm still
Get with the times.
in 2020 right now because nothing's
Why
opened
would
up.
you ever do that?
Because nothing's happening in
Time-
2021.
Time doesn't exist.
Time is an illusion.
I mean, technically, if we're talking about time, right now, we are creating our past, living in the present, and stepping into the future. Philosophy, guys.
No.
You guys
but
weren't
with a
amazed by
knife.
that, were you?
No.
Me sitting here like, what?
Man, I thought about that so much. I was like, oh.
She's like, it would be awesome to say this.
Yeah, I was so proud of that. I was like, this sounded really cool in my head.
Insert finger guns here.
Come on, guys. I worked hard. I've been waiting for the last 2 years to use that in a sentence. I
love
waited for
you.
that. I was
sorry.
thinking about it last night. I was like, oh, when I get the chance, I'm gonna take it.
I gotta save that.
Now you guys need to write this into your memories.
Add that to my book.
Yeah, thank you, Levi. Thank you. So yeah, we met Levi at Anime Midwest. But also, Levi, I think me and Dorothy have a serious question here. Bekah, plug your ears. Levi, would you like to join the Bekah fan club?
Oh my god, yes. Bold of you to assume that I wasn't already here.
Welcome to the Bekah fan club. We have hats, shirts, shoes, socks. We don't have jeans yet. Pins.
Pins.
Do you happen to have a pair of Bekah's jeans?
I need a tapestry, a shower curtain, a mask, a face mask. Come on, get it together.
Bekah
You're behind the times.
Bekah's face all over a face mask.
Yes. Oh my god, I would wear that everywhere.
That's how you
really
spread
would.
the
You
word.
You don't want that.
Who's that on your face mask? You haven't heard of the Bekah cult? Are you serious? What's wrong with you?
See, the thing is, Bekah doesn't know about this. She doesn't. Not at all.
Becca's like,
Oh,
no.
Definitely
So
not.
the rule is we gotta
Mhm.
keep the secret from Bekah. We don't
Yeah,
want her
obviously.
discovering.
No.
She's a secret club. Just looking at the...
Secret club. We meet on Wednesdays.
But I'm not allowed in.
No, God, no.
No.
What is wrong with you? We would all have like nosebleeds. Like, oh my god, our idol just in the fan club meeting. What?
That's how we really pay tribute to Bekah, is by having nosebleeds.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know this,
It brings us
Bekah has
closer to
nosebleeds
Bekah.
a lot.
A lot.
Like all the time. I had one yesterday, actually.
Oh no!
Yeah, I sniffled and I was like, wow, that feels like blood. And then the next thing I knew, I was like, oh, it is blood. That's why it feels like that.
No.
Like, where would you look at that?
We nosebleed for Bekah.
Nosebleed for Bekah. I need that on a t-shirt. So serious about this now. You can't tell me this.
We're making merchandise for this now. It's official.
I'm so excited. I'll make posters.
Oh my god.
I'll make us all t-shirts, nosebleeds for Bekah.
Gotta be like a gray t-shirt with like just blood.
Yes, like blood stains on it. Not real ones.
And just the words on this one.
Yeah, we also, if you guys want to join the Bekah fan club, just let us know. We're always accepting applicants.
Devote an Instagram account to it.
Yeah.
It's all just photos of Bekah, like off-guard photos of Bekah. Just the entire Instagram page. They'll be like, what is this? Our Lord and Savior Bekah.
The Bekah fan page. But Levi, I know, like, my stepmom and dad are obsessed with the first episode. Absolutely obsessed. Like, they quote it all the time. And I know they wanted to know a bit more about the situation with Kay and everything. What did you like think of the first episode that we had? Do you approve? Do you think that we should have said anything else, or like what do you think? Like,
No, I highly approve. I actually listened to that entire podcast while packing my old apartment, and was like, I started in my room, and then I ended up moving out to where my roommates could hear it too, because I was like, dude, like this literally is exactly what happened. I was like, someone validating me, because I like really genuinely thought that I was like, am I just overreacting? Is it just me? And then for someone as like quiet as Bekah to be like as irritated as me, I was like, no, I'm valid in my feelings. And for Grace to even be like, are you like, bro, are you serious right now with Kay? Like, I was like, thank you. Okay, I'm not crazy. I'm not just like rude or
yeah, you were
mean.
good friends with them and everything.
I tried really hard. It was so stressful. Glad that it's over. It was really stressful. No, thank you. Please never come back.
Hey guys, also, this opening like segments we do that we just talk about random stuff, this is what we called character development. We build our character. Turns out Bekah's a Mary Sue character. They're OP. They're gonna take over this story. They already have a fan base.
Who's Mary Sue?
You don't know the no. Do you not know the term Mary Sue?
No.
Okay,
Wait,
so
let me look it up.
the terminology for Mary
Let me just
Sue
Google
is
it.
that you're the OP character.
Yeah, I do.
Like, everything happens to that character. Like, it's the main character.
No, the problem is that they're perfect. They don't have any
Yes.
flaws or character issues.
Yes.
They don't seem like a real person. If they do have a flaw, it's like, oh, they're clumsy. You know what I mean?
They have
It's not
nosebleeds.
really a flaw.
That's it. It's the
I mean,
nosebleeds
that
for
one's
me.
true.
Bekah's nosebleeds, for example. But otherwise, Bekah's perfect. You can't replace
It's
Bekah.
seeing Bekah Google it and like the light from their phone on their face. For me, like that's everything. Just the fact that I know that you just Googled it.
I said I
everything.
was gonna look it up. I did.
It's not like they just gave you the definition and examples. They were your Google, and you're like, no, not good enough. I need the actual Google definition. I appreciate your guys' definition. Thank
Oh,
I was
thank
in
you.
the middle of it when you guys started telling me what it was. Anyway.
The way this episode is gonna work out is Levi and... Oh my gosh, I totally forgot Bekah's name.
Did you almost just call me Mary Sue?
It's just who you are now. Just gotta embrace it.
No, Mary Sue is in my head. No, Levi and Bekah are gonna tell a story together because they've been to a con together, and a lot of stuff happened there. But I guess we'll get right into the stories right now because I feel like you guys have a long story to tell. A lot of stuff happened, so if you guys want to take it away.
So this was AkaiCon 2019. This is very important information. I drove a 1995 Buick Regal, which, yes, 1995. It was an old car. But like I'd taken it to many other cons. Like it had driven all the way to Alabama and back. He was reliable. He was a good car. I loved him.
You also live in Indiana, so
yes, I live in Indiana for reference. Like that's like 15 hour drive to Alabama, and then
is it really that long?
Yeah. God, yeah. And I avoid tolls. I'm not about to pay for tolls. I don't want to interact with people. I'm good. But this con was in Tennessee, which, like, again, I live in Indiana, so it wasn't that long of a drive to Tennessee from Indiana. And we were going. It was Bekah. We're just gonna call them C and A. Sorry, I couldn't resist. So it was me, Bekah, C, and A. Bekah and I we're the only two that had license. Still are the only two that have licenses, like driver's licenses. And I was perfectly fine with trading off and on driving. Like that was not a problem. My car had just been looked at and everything. Like I really did everything to make sure that this was going to go smooth. And we get like, what was it, like 2 or 3 hours out?
Okay, wait, before you guys continue, when is AkaiCon?
It's like 2 weeks after Anime Midwest. So like 2 weeks after knowing each other, we went to a con together.
They seem cool. They're not gonna murder me.
Let's go to a con.
I mean, I've made poor life choices. Like I don't think this is the worst choice I've ever made. Hey, it ended well. Bekah and I are friends, so we became closer. Trauma bonding. But literally. No, but we get like, I don't know how far out we are. We were like, we couldn't have been that far.
Yeah, probably.
So I'm driving, I'm on the highway. I'm a very safe driver, especially when there's other people in my car. Like I'm very careful with like how I drive and make sure that I'm not going to put anyone in danger because I give what I would want to receive. So like, please care for my safety because I'll care for yours. But we're driving and like the whole time that I'm driving, C keeps like making comments towards my driving and being like, oh, you're too far in this lane. You're too far in that lane. Oh, you should do this. You should do that. And already before the trip, they had like not trusted my car. They were like, oh, well, maybe we should do this, that, or the other. And I was like, look, my car is fine. I literally had it looked at, just had my tires rotated, replaced, everything. Like we're good. Like it's fine. Car does amazing on gas. So I feel like this is our best bet. But they kept making comments and I was doing my absolute best to ignore them because I was not having it. Biting my tongue, staying silent, hoping that they would stop. And then somebody threw something out their window. I like noticed that my like tire on my rear side of my passenger side was like weird. Like when you're driving, you can tell like when your car is off balance. Like it's you can feel it. And I just knew, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me right now. Like, mind you, I had brand new tires. I was like, you've got to be kidding. So I pull off to the side. I put on my hazards. We get out. And sure enough, my tire was blown. Like it was shredded. Like it was absolutely shredded. Like it went through a cheese grater. Like it was shredded.
Yeah, like it was just this long gap.
It was bad
for the entire tire, pretty much.
You definitely ran over something then.
Yeah, you would think, you know, any sane person would look at that and be like, you definitely ran over something. No, C looks at it and goes, I knew something bad was going to happen, and I immediately looked at them and in the nicest way possible was like, stop talking. I was like, I am not in the mood to deal with you right now. I was like, it's not even your vehicle. You're not the one that has to replace it. It's not your problem. So stop talking. C and A, like, both had their phones plugged in my car, insisted that I kept my car running because it was hot, and both sat in my car, like on the side where the tire was blown.
Yeah, Levi and I got out.
The two people that probably should have stayed in the vehicle, or like if anybody should have stayed in the vehicle, were outside the vehicle. I'm Hispanic, so I'm fine from the sun, but Bekah Bekah is burn material. Like,
Bekah burns.
Bekah burns.
Bekah's
and I believe you
flammable.
did burn, didn't you? Did you burn?
Like, if you don't know me, I am, like, printer paper white. In the sun, I, like, catch on fire.
Like, 20 minutes, she's gone. She's red.
It was bad. And I kept being like, oh, you guys should let Bekah sit in the car. Like, they probably shouldn't be out in the sun. Like, they're gonna burn. And I'm pretty sure that you did. Pretty sure you burned, like, a little bit. Like, you got a little red.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, my shoulders started, like singeing. Like, I could... like, I could feel myself burning. Because I was wearing a tank top because it was summer. And I put, like, my jacket that I had on in the car, I draped it over myself because I could feel myself burning. And then I did burn on my face in the end. So
I kept trying to move Bekah into the shade because I was like, please, dear God, do not burn. I was like, please, we're going to a con this weekend. I do not want you to burn and have to cover, like, burn with makeup. Like, that's gonna suck.
You gave me your hat too.
Yeah, I wear baseball. I was wearing a baseball cap. I still don't know what that is. Do you still have that? Wait a minute. Where'd my hat go?
No, I gave that back. I don't have it. At least I don't think so.
Bekah would
You
never
probably
steal
don't.
your hat.
I'm just Bekah still has my wedding dress, but that's beside the point. Bekah steals other things. Stole my heart. It's fine. So, like, a few hours go by. Finally, a tow truck arrives, and my grandparents, whom I was living with at the time, were like, "Okay, it's fine. We're gonna pay for a tow truck to come and tow your car to the house. Like, it's fine. It's no big deal." I love my grandparents for that. They're like, I'm very grateful. But the tow truck comes and they're like, oh, can you start your car so it's easier for us to get on the ramp? I had, like, taken my keys out of my car after a while because, like, I didn't care whether their phones died or not, honestly. So my car would not start. Like, my battery was dead. And even like the tow person, like, came over and was like looking under my hood, and he's like, oh yeah, it's dead.
Oh my gosh.
I can't even, like, he couldn't even jump it. Like, it was bad. It was that bad. Like, it was dead.
So first your tire blew, and now your car's not starting.
Now my car is dead. And this is just like, this was Thursday, the day before the con. Like, we were going down a date early. And all this was happening. And mind you, C&A kept making comments, kept, like, just jibber jabbering and just not helping the situation at all. Bekah and I were, like, the entire time that this was happening, we were trying to figure out what we could do, how we could manage this.
Well, I, like, flagged down the tow truck guy after, like, the car still didn't start after that. And we were, like, Levi and I had, like, a quick conversation and was like, we need to get another car here so we can go. And I flagged down the guy and was like, hey, can you take me to an Enterprise to get a rental car? And then C came with me. So, like, we drove, like, 20 minutes to get to this Enterprise. On my Google Maps, it said it was open. And then I got there and we got out of the car and the tow truck driver drove away. And then I went to reach for the door handle and it was closed.
No!
Yeah. So I called the office that I was at and they were like, oh, we should be open. It's just everyone's at lunch. So I had to wait like 5 more minutes for a person to even
thank
come.
God.
Yeah.
We thought you guys died. A and I just sat in silence. They tried talking to me and I was not about that life. I was like, no. I just kind of ignored them because I was just really angry.
So we went inside and someone finally was there. And then C paid for the rental car while I was like on the phone in the bathroom with my mom. Like, they don't have their license. So they were like, oh, well, Bekah will just drive. And they just paid for it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. But I could have paid for it myself. Like, and then I would have been able to control who drove, you know? And then, we got back on the highway and, like, had to figure out how to get, like, on the right side of the road that Levi was on. and then like load all of our stuff into the new car to continue driving. And then we got everything in the car, and we were gonna wait until like the tow truck came back to pick up Levi's car, so it wouldn't just be like stranded on the highway. So we went to Taco Bell and just sat and ate in silence for like 30 minutes.
Angsty Taco Bell.
Yeah.
No one wanted to discuss anything.
I just didn't want to hear their voices. I was overhearing their voices. Bekah was fine. I was not upset with Bekah at all. Bekah was the only person we were the only people. Communication is like everything.
Mhm.
And we were the only ones communicating. Like Bekah was like, I'm stressed out. And I was like, you too, bud? Me too. I was like, what's stressing you out? It was the exact same stuff. They were like, they won't stop talking. They're not helping the situation. They just keep complaining instead of like trying to find a way to fix it or trying to work with us to fix it. And I was like, yeah. What are we gonna do? Because we're the brains here apparently. And I was like, please let us put our heads together and plan.
I think we talked about who would drive. Like we were talking about switching off with the rental car, and then C got mad because they were like, "Oh no, you can't. Like Levi can't drive because like I paid for it, and I don't want them driving. Like Bekah's the only one that's allowed to drive," which I was not expecting because like Levi and I had talked about driving his car on and off. Because it's like a 6-hour drive.
And to do that straight through is a lot.
Yeah, and I can't drive at night. So our whole plan was like for the con, we were like, okay, so I can't drive at night because I'm borderline epileptic. So like I can't do flashing lights, especially at night. And so I was like, okay, so I drive us to the con and you drive us back. And Bekah was like, yeah, that's fine. Like that works for me. Like that's cool. It's like someone without a license, I feel in my opinion, should not have a say over who drives. I understand that they paid for the car. I get that. But like, you're not the person driving. So please.
You're not the person driving
down.
6 hours.
Get your license, then we talk. Like, please.
Yeah, it was just very frustrating. So it was just like our whole plan for the whole weekend was just thrown out the window because they were like, no, you can't do that because the car's under my name. I was like, okay, so I guess I'm driving the whole time.
Neither of us had the energy to argue either. We were both like, fine, whatever.
Like, let's get on the road now. Let's just leave. Let's just keep going.
The drive to the hotel room was fine.
Man, when you say hotel room, I'm just imagining you like just driving into the hotel room like, wham! Like
at that point, like I would have welcomed it. I would have been like, fine, let's go. I'm ready.
You didn't drive to the hotel. No. You took it one step further. You drove into your hotel room.
Yeah, let's go, Bekah. We can't trade off. Let's go. We're doing it to him.
Ran right into the door, and then we were like, let's get out of the car.
It was just as we got closer to the actual like hotel, C turns to us and goes, you have to pay me back for the car. Like, not even like, hey, would you mind if it's not too much to ask? I know that I went out of my own way to pay for this myself. Just, you have to pay me back. You owe me this and you owe me that.
C was just like very aggressive about like, hey, give me money now.
Literally.
And we were all like, what?
And Bekah's pretty like quiet, I would say. Like Bekah's pretty like, okay. And I'm more of, excuse me, you want to try that again? You want to reword that for me? Sorry, I don't know who you're talking to. Like, it's not me. I'm not the one.
Also, it doesn't help after being in a car for so long.
And critiquing my driving and my vehicle. Like, why are you critiquing my car? Like, don't start with me. Like, I was already angry, but I didn't have I did not have the energy for this. I was like, fine, whatever. What's your PayPal?
Yeah, it's very annoying. Like, as we got to the hotel, like, I was like, obviously I'm gonna pay you, but let's just get to the hotel before anything happens. Like, I'm not getting out my phone for anything right now.
Wait, they did it while you were driving?
Yes, that's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. And then when we got
Yeah.
no, and what was really like, just like icing on the cake on Thursday was literally the fact that the minute, and I mean the absolute minute that we unlocked the hotel room door and got inside, it was again. So you're gonna send me that money, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna pay me back, right?
Yeah. Like, I didn't have time to sit down before they were like, hey,
At all.
like, get out your phone and PayPal me money for the card.
And then they didn't even know their stuff for PayPal.
Yeah. And I was like, give me like 20 minutes.
It was like a whole ordeal of them trying to figure out, because I was ready. I had PayPal open on my phone. I was like, if it will get you to shut up, fine. Stop speaking to me. I was like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
I was like ready to sit on the bathroom floor and just rock back and forth crying. I was so like angry. I was like shaking with rage. I was like, stop speaking to me. But then they spent like what, 30 minutes trying to figure out PayPal and trying to like figure out their account. And immediately, like as soon as they figured it out, we're like, I need you to PayPal me now. And we were like, okay, cool. And we both did.
I think that while they were doing that, we were all unloading the car.
Yeah,
At
they
least
were
Levi
sitting
and I.
on
I
the
don't
hotel
remember
bed.
what A was doing.
A was sitting on the hotel bed. C was sitting on the hotel bed. And it's the two of us unloading this vehicle with everyone else's stuff. As much as I wanted to just throw their stuff, I had self-control. And I was like gently placing things. And I was being extra careful because I knew that if I even slightly set something down, like even like a little hard, someone was going to say something and I was going to spaz. I was like, I don't want to talk to anyone. And the entire time that we were like going in and out of the hotel room, Bekah and I were like, why? Literally, why? Because I always try to see things from other people's perspective and like understand where they're coming from, because there's two sides to every story. And so I was like sitting here and I was trying to like, I was like venting to Bekah. I was like, I don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And I was like, please, do you understand? And they were like, no, I don't. And I was like, okay, so it's not just me. Cool. Awesome. Good to know. I'm not crazy. The rest of that night went fine after the whole PayPal situation. It didn't even immediately go into their account. Like they kept complaining about it not like going into their account or whatever, or like being like, it still hasn't hit my account. And I was like, okay, well, I sent you it. It's out of my account. And I like showed the stuff on my bank statement on my phone, being like, it's out of my account. That's it going to you. Leave me alone. This is no longer a group problem. This is now a you problem. Stop talking to me about it. I'm not in control. I'm not the bank. Do I look like the bank? No, I don't. You woke up before me. Well, I heard alarms go off and I ignored them. Like I'm a very light sleeper. And the entire night, all I could hear was like snoring. I also shared a bed with A, and Bekah shared a bed with C, and A flailed around in their sleep and snored in my ear. So I was kind of laying there hoping that I would fall asleep. I fell asleep for maybe like an hour and a half, and I was like, cool, awesome, this is nice. Also, C snored really loud too. They both snored really loud. Bekah was fine. Bekah was a dream.
Bekah's so easy. She doesn't move. She just stays still.
Literally. Same. Bekah and I are like dead.
But she's also a really light sleeper. That's the only other thing.
We were both miserable, and that's on absolute everything. We were trying. I think you got up before me though.
Yeah, I didn't have trouble sleeping, but I think it was just because I was exhausted and I didn't sleep in the car. So, and I think C and A both slept in the car.
Yes. Which annoyed me even further. I was like, first of all, C insisted on sitting in the passenger seat and then fell asleep. And I'm like, if you're going to sit in the passenger seat, at least stay awake for the driver. Like,
yeah, within
I was
like
behind
an hour
Bekah.
into the drive, they fell asleep. And I was like, are you serious? Like, if you're going to sit in the passenger seat, at least talk to me.
Yeah. It's so rude.
It was very rude.
It was so frustrating.
And I was too annoyed. I felt bad. I feel bad now. I was too annoyed to like try to hold a conversation with Bekah. Like I felt bad. I was just like dissociating into the void. I was like, goodbye.
Yeah.
I can't. It's so hard for me to imagine Bekah getting really like Bekah sounded angrier, like, from the story than I've ever heard.
It was
like,
a lot.
I
It
thought
was
I
so
saw
much.
Bekah mad before, but this just sounds like she's just, like, she's silent mad here, where if you say something, she'll just snap or something. Like she was ready. She's like, I'm planning.
We were both ready.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Bekah to, like, just snap so that I could be like, oh, we going, boys, we going. Here we go.
Levi cheering on the side. Woo, go Bekah.
Fan club.
I was trying so hard not to blow up at everything. Well, and at that point, I was tired, I was sunburned, and then I had to drive alone 6 hours. And my sunburn was already, like, peeling on my neck, so I was, like, scratching.
Looking like Shigaraki.
The whole drive. Like, just angrily taking it out on myself.
You.
I was like, great.
It's terrible.
Yeah, so that was a whole thing.
That was just Thursday.
Yeah. Friday, I don't remember if I got up first or if C got up first.
Oh no, it was C because they started playing music really loud, which only annoyed me further.
Yeah, I think they started playing music when they were getting makeup on, or they were in the shower.
It was something. It was something really loud. Like I cannot stand. The kid at the at the sleepover that's like, I'm awake, so you should be awake. That's how that felt, and that annoys me. I'm like, please, why do you wake up
The
so
only
early?
music I can play in the morning is soft, sad music.
Right. Play the soundtrack for the Phantom of the Opera or
that
something,
makes
please.
sense.
Like, I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, and it was like 6 a.m. because we were all
I'm
like,
not a morning
okay, we're
person
gonna get
at
up,
all.
like, we were all like, we want to get to the con early. Even though, like, Fridays don't usually start till, like, noon. So early for me would have been, like, 10.
The sun was not even up.
That's what I wanted. Yeah.
I was
And they
having
were
war
like, oh, hey, are you
flashbacks.
gonna get up for breakfast? And I was like, no. Like, I'm gonna roll back over and go to sleep once you and whoever wants to get breakfast goes to get breakfast.
Oh yeah, they did
Like,
take a shower.
no.
And then they took A to breakfast and they came back and they're like, we brought you muffins. And I was like, this does not make up for anything, but thanks for the muffins. I'm absolutely not a morning person. Like, if you wake me up and you expect me to be like, oh, hey guys, like, I'm gonna be like, no, what you get in the morning is, hello, please allow me to go back to sleep. I am not awake. I may look awake, but I am not awake.
Yeah, I'm not a morning person either. And it was just like,
It was a lot. By the time that they got back, we were both like sitting up and playing on our phones. We were like, here we go. We got up and we started doing our makeup.
yeah.
Day one, I was cosplaying Levi. I think the whole weekend I cosplayed Levi, though. I definitely did.
Levi from Attack on Titan.
Yes,
guys.
Levi Ackerman from Attack on Titan. So sorry.
Not cosplaying themselves.
Yeah.
I'm just cosplaying myself.
Levi himself.
Me, myself, and I. Here we go.
That
My
just
OC.
happens to be exactly like me.
Self-insert
It's literally
OC.
just me. This is fine. He's pretty popular, you know. So I think day one we were doing Titan PJs, and A had coordinated their cosplay around mine, which was fine. Like, no complaints. But then they just kept taking pieces of my makeup and not telling me where they were putting it, leaving it in random places. And like, I have a pretty expensive eyeshadow palette that they misplaced, and I was really upset about that because I couldn't find it for like 5 minutes straight when I needed it. And I was like, please, where did you put it? And they kept ignoring me and playing on their phone and being like, it's here. And I was like, I will throw hands with you, I swear. Tell me exactly where it is. I was like,
Yeah, they were like, it's
Not having
fine,
it.
it's in the room somewhere. And it's like, you don't know where it is?
Levi's catchphrase, I will throw hands with you.
I was like, you old enough to catch these hands. Let's go. Meet me in the parking lot. I'm done. We pull up to the convention center after we finally pile in the car. We didn't have any issues on the drive that time. Well, other than finding the place. That was a little questionable. But we finally got to the con, which was nice. We finally got there. It was awesome. We walk in, we get checked in. Mind you, Also, something important to remember for this whole thing that was also stressful, that is about to like become apparent why it's stressful. A didn't pay for anything, like nothing at all. I paid for A's part of the hotel as well as mine. I paid for A's badge. I paid for A's food. I paid for like all of A's cosplay and everything was like stuff that I bought them. The whole reason that this person was allowed to go, literally in the nicest way possible, because of me. I never try to be that person that's like, oh, well, I paid for your stuff. I don't try to be like C and be like, oh, I paid for your stuff. Oh, I did this. Oh, I did that. What was frustrating about it is basically the minute that we walked into the convention center, like the actual like convention center, A and C ditched us, like disappeared, left us behind.
Yeah.
And Bekah and I were just kind of like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess we walking together. So we ended up just walking together a lot of the time and like visiting booths and just seeing cosplayers, getting photos with people or of people, just trying to make the best out of a stressful situation. But yeah, we went back to the hotel room. That was fine. And then Saturday night, we went to the rave. Bekah and I had someone flirting with us from it. They were cosplaying from my favorite anime, and that was the worst part because I love the character they were cosplaying. But the person I was in Levi Ackerman cosplay. This person was inebriated and really tall, like probably like 6'3", and I'm 5'3", like a whole foot taller than me, and like was looking down at me and dancing close to us and stuff. We're having a grand old time. I'm living my best life because they're cosplaying one of my favorite characters. They're living their best life because they're inebriated and dancing with people.
What character?
Oh, it's Wolfwood, Nicholas D. Wolfwood from Trigun.
Okay,
Really awesome anime. I love that anime. It's everything to me. Sorry, underrated anime. He's like dancing and he like starts he kept talking to Bekah and like trying to flirt with Bekah, like awful. And Bekah and I were like trying to be nice, but this was like the highlight of our weekend. We're like, oh my god, this is everything to me right now. And he was trying so hard, and we weren't being mean or anything. Like, we were just,
how
like,
was he flirting? I need more context here.
like he was like, I really like your outfit. Like, you're really pretty, to Bekah. And Bekah was like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
And then
It was like the awkward flirting.
awkward,
It was
like, hey,
oh,
you're kind
no.
of cute.
Who are you cosplaying, Bekah?
I wasn't. I was just in like rave clothes.
Oh,
Yeah,
rave
I
clothes,
was just
though.
like in a t-shirt and shorts.
Oh,
It wasn't
whistle,
like I
whistle
dressed up,
shorts.
Ew.
Bekah!
Shorts. And we're like dancing like idiots too. Like, we're not even dancing good. Like,
No.
Bekah and I can dance. I don't like dancing in front of people, so I like dance like an idiot,
Yeah.
which is my favorite pastime, especially when I'm in Levi Ackerman cosplay at cons. I love the looks that people give me because they know who I'm cosplaying, and they're like, "Why are you dancing like my 30-year-old dad?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Because I'm cosplaying
Like, we
a 30-year-old
danced, like,
man."
Old men.
It was everything. We started doing the sprinkler together.
Yeah.
It was pretty great. It was so stupid. Oh, but he looks down at me. And yes, he looks down at me. And he goes, and he's like dancing and he's like swaying back and forth. He's like got his hands in a fist and he's just kind of rocking them back and forth and just jiving with the music, with rave music, mind you. And he looks down at me and he goes, you know who you should cosplay? And I was like, who? And he goes, you ever seen Attack on Titan? And I was like, yeah. And I'm expecting him to say like Armin, Petra, Aaron, like anybody. Like, this man looks me dead in my eyes. And goes, you would make a really good Levi Ackerman. And I could not. I could, in the nicest way possible. I was like, you really think so? And he goes, yeah, I feel like you'd make a really good Levi Ackerman. You're like his same height and you're about his same build and everything. You would look really good as Levi Ackerman. And I was like,
Oh my god.
I turned to Bekah and I just could not fathom what just left this man's mouth. I turned to Bekah and I was like, You hear that? I should cosplay Levi from Attack on Titan. And Bekah goes, really? Yeah, you would look really good as Levi. And we're like trying not to make him feel dumb. And we were trying really hard to be nice. And we're like, we get it. Like, it's dark. You're good. We're giving you a handicap. But what was even worse is like he like danced away from us into the void, danced away.
Well, and the funniest part is that this is like a small dinky con. So the rave had like maybe 30 people, and Levi and I are like out of the way because we don't want to be like right on the stage.
We're like away from the crowd.
Lights. And he like tries to like back away dancing, and we're like just watching him like really awkwardly like slide out of the conversation.
You're like, this poor man.
Like, yikes.
That's such an important detail.
Like, bye, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
He just like disappeared into the crowd too, like the very small crowd of people.
Yeah,
he just like disappeared into it. We were like, bye.
Just blended in.
It was so sad. I felt so bad. No, but what was even worse is as we went to leave, like we kept telling A and C that we wanted to leave, and we were like, hey, like we're tired, and Bekah had to drive, so we're like, we're tired. We would like to get back to the hotel.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, cool. And then we like got out of the rave and they started talking to people in the hallway.
Yeah.
And we were like, dude, let's not Midwestern goodbye this. Like, come on, let's go. We're like, let's go, lesbians, let's go. Like, pep in your step. I'm a con dad too, so it's even worse because I was like, let's go. I'm ready. I'm hungry. You're gonna see like a bad side of me here in a second. I almost pulled out the dad voice. Like I was like, come on. I was like,
let's go.
Let's go. We're leaving.
Yeah, it took us like another 30 to 45 minutes just to leave. Even though we weren't even in the rave.
It was awful. It was a nightmare. And then as we actually went to leave, the Wolfwood cosplayer made his great return. He comes out of the rave and he's like, where are you going? Like literally just like that. This man is everything to me. He goes, where are you going? I was like, I want to take a shower. And he's like, you could shower back in my place. And I was like, no, thank you. I was like, no, I'd rather shower. I was like, I like to shower alone. He's like, oh, well, you could come hang out at my hotel. And I was like, nah, thanks though. And I'm like trying really hard because I'm already annoyed, and I was trying really hard because he was not the source of my anger. So I was like, let's not take this out on this poor inebriated man who is cosplaying a great Wolfwood, like an amazing Wolfwood. I was like, come on, let's not do it. Coping skills, people, coping skills. So he's like talking at me as we're leaving, and I'm like,
He continues to talk to you till we get to the door. I'm outside.
Literally was still talking as we left. I could still hear him when the doors closed. Like he was persistent. He was like, "Can I get your number?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "I'm good, thanks."
He was very persistent. He's like, "I have a chance."
Yeah.
He's like, "I really like you." And I was like,
they
That's
said
cool.
no to everything, but I still have that chance.
But I still have a chance. I was like, no, you don't. Not right now. Sunday wasn't terrible, but
yeah.
I had a different incident, like a separate incident. Semi-popular person was really rude to us when not a slap in the face, because it was someone that I looked up to that I unfollowed afterwards, like after they were really rude.
Is it just their tone?
Like it was the way that they spoke in general. Like they just like that whole "I'm too good for you" attitude. What was also bad is like Bekah, like I got recognized, which I get recognized at cons for my Levi cosplay, which like that's something that I it's hard to get used to. And like realize that people do know who I am. It's kind of I'm just a really awkward dude. I make videos for me. Like I'm like, I like the content that I create, and I create content because it makes me happy.
Yeah.
But I had someone at Akai Con walk up to me and be like, oh, "You're Human Hater Cosplay," and I was like, "Yeah, that's me. Why do you know that?" Like, I follow you on TikTok, and I was like, "Why?" Like I felt so bad, and I apologized so much after. I was like, "Why?" And they were like, "I really like your content," and I was like, "Thank you." Like, I'm really awkward. I don't deal well when people recognize me in public.
I mean, we're all nerds. We're all awkward. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I felt so bad, and I literally
I'm just
apologized
saying,
like several times.
Wait,
I was like, I'm
Levi.
so sorry.
If let's just say you're roaming a grocery store, and all of a sudden I come out and I'm just yelling, Levi, Levi, Levi.
You'll get me mugged. You will straight get me mugged, or I will ignore you. I don't like being recognized in public. It just makes me feel really like on the spot, and I don't deal well with that. Like, I'm like, I freeze and I freak out and like brain rot. Like, I just word vomit and it's bad. I'm like, hi.
Yeah.
When I first meet someone and they recognize me and they know who I am, but I don't know who they are, I'm like, hello, welcome to Chili's. I'm like, how can we take your order today? Like, it's really bad. Bekah, were you there when I got recognized?
Maybe.
We were both like really out of it the entire con. Though.
Yeah. I also did have a bloody nose on that Sunday, so I might have like you might have gotten stopped.
Yeah,
and I was like, it's fine.
It was.
I'll take
You
care of it.
got
I kept
stopped.
running.
Becca's running. Levi's getting stopped.
I'm like, hello. Oh yeah, I had an incident. Like, mind you, this entire time it was literally just me and Bekah. Like, the people that we went to the con with were nowhere to be found.
Yeah. Like,
we went looking for them too and could not find them.
Yeah. Like, we lost them the entire con.
Not on purpose.
Yeah.
A and C, yeah, we lost them like completely.
AC.
AC.
AC, but they're not cool.
No. Literally. I like that. Finger guns.
Finger guns.
Oh my god. No, I had a separate incident. There was a cosplayer that I really look up to that was Beyblade tournamenting, and I was too awkward to say hi to him. And then I had an incident where I was in wedding dress Levi, and I'm male, and my driver's license says male. Like, yes, I'm trans F to M, but like, I'm male. And I went to the men's room to use the bathroom, and I had this cis dude stare me down. And then as I left the bathroom, he went over and was talking to con staff, and I genuinely thought that I was about to get hate crimed. Like, I started freaking out because like I did not want to deal with him coming over and being like, you used the wrong bathroom, and me having to explain like I'm a male and like feel like I have to validate myself. Like, that was just a lot. And this cosplayer that I look up to is also trans. And so I start freaking out, and I'm like trying to talk to Bekah, C, and A, but C and A did not care at all.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. And Bekah was like trying to calm me down, but like, it's like, there's only so much that an ally can do versus someone who genuinely like knows your situation on a personal level. So I felt really bad, but he was really nice, like really nice.
Levi, it sounds like you're about to cry. Are you
like,
crying? Like,
not yet. Don't make me cry, man. Don't make me cry. I'm very empathetic. But I walked up to him, and I'm like literally on the verge of having a panic attack, like a full-blown panic attack. And I look at him and I was like, I'm so sorry for interrupting you. And he like noticed the panic on my face and immediately like turned and was like, no, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm trans. And he's like, awesome. Like, I'm proud of you. And I was like, that's not the problem. I'm not trying to come out to you right now. If he ever heard this podcast, I swear on everything, I would lose my mind. Lose it. He's everything to me. Oh my god. No, but he was so sweet. He
reacted really quick.
He reacted very quick. And I was shaking so bad, and I was trying so I hate it's one of my biggest pet peeves. My biggest like anxieties is like crying in front of people, and that's just like a toxic masculinity is pushed on a lot of trans men, and that's like something that I try to like work past, but it's really hard. Like, people don't like weakness, like quote unquote weakness or emotion in men, and that sucks. And he took me outside of the exhibit hall, and he sat me down in a chair, and he had me doing breathing exercises, and he calmed me down. And Bekah came with us, and it was really nice because I could tell that Bekah wanted to do more, but everything that Bekah did was like everything that they could have done and everything right. Like Bekah was rubbing my back, trying to like soothe me and calm me down.
Aww.
And he was like this beautiful man was kneeling in front of me, calming me down from a panic attack. And I'm like, I got to the point where I felt so bad that I kept apologizing.
Yeah.
And he kept being like, no, don't apologize. Like, you're good. And I started like hysterically laughing while trying to talk to this man because I'm like, you're literally like one of the reasons that I cosplay. And he's like, you look awesome. He's like, I love Attack on Titan. I love your cosplay. You look amazing. He's like, never stop doing what you do. Side note, like a week or so after the con, he actually DM'd me on Instagram and was like, hey, you were the wedding dress Levi Ackerman at Akai Con. I wanted to check on you. And he was like, how are you doing, buddy? And like sent a whole paragraph, like a nice paragraph, just being like, I want to make sure that you're okay. And we still like all randomly repost one of his posts on my story, and he'll message me back and like he replies, and it's really nice to have someone like that like he wasn't just doing it for show, like he was genuinely worried about me. Mm-hmm. And he but he ended up talking to con staff and being like, yo, this guy is harassing him and I'm not going to deal with that. And they basically were like, if you make him uncomfortable again at all, we're kicking you out. And it was like really nice to like know that I actually had support, because like with being trans, it's really hard to like know who's actually going to have your back. But yeah, and ANC were just off doing what they do, I guess, living their best lives. And then by the time that we actually got out of the hotel room and everything, it was so difficult to get ANC to get out of the hotel room and like actually pack their stuff.
Did you guys leave
like,
Sunday?
We had to do Sunday. Like,
yeah, we didn't do Monday.
They just would not get their stuff together and like kept lagging behind. And we were like, dude, come on. We met a lot of really cool people. Bekah and I got closer together as friends. Like, we learned a lot about each other. We talked a lot to each other about like our likes and dislikes. We both learned that we both liked really like Gravity Falls, which was everything to me. We just were like really making friends. We were like, okay, well, you're gonna ditch us together, so we're gonna make this backfire in your face by becoming closer as friends. That con was just a lot.
Yeah.
A lot happened at that con for you guys.
Yeah, it was just kind of like one thing after another, after another, after another.
Well, that was a crazy episode. You guys, literally everything that could happen happened. Everything, almost. Almost everything. I mean, you guys didn't die, so that's a plus.
Didn't drive the car off a bridge. So.
Yeah, that didn't happen. But I want to thank Levi so much for joining and to agreeing to this. And also, guys, please go follow Levi at their social medias. If you want to tell them, Levi.
It's just Human Hater Cosplay on literally everything.
Is there any underscores or anything?
Yeah, there's an underscore between Human Hater and Cosplay. After hater between that makes sense.
Yeah. You're trying to remember your own username.
I'm looking at it and saying it. Where is the it's between hater and cosplay.
So human hater is one
I'm like the worst at explaining. Yes,
cosplay.
Human hater is kind of
Here we go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bekah.
Thank you. Finger guns.
But this is a very first episode. I'm so glad you got to join. This is the famous Levi who was in the first story.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Please go follow us on all our social medias at Cozy Con Corner. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Also, you guys can email your own stories at
Yeah. What she said. Compelling point, Grace.
At cozyconcorner@gmail.com. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and please look forward to the next episode. Bye.
Bye.